Hey, look at the buttons, look. Look, I fought for this fucking country, right? I fought for this country. I'm a colour. I fought for this country. I can't get back. You're Nazis. You're Nazis. You're Nazis. My dad fought for this country. I fought for this country. I fought for this country. And this is what I'm getting. This is what I'm getting. All right?
Oh, well, good evening. Good evening. Welcome to the show. Unapologetic, guys. No F's given. And of course, everyone's favourite veteran. I mean, Parrot. I mean, Walter Mitty, Glenn Safford. But, you know, I get it. Tonight is going to be about getting involved in the moment. That's what it's going to be. And I'll give you one example, which is Glenn Safford claiming he's a Parrot. Good evening, guys. Good evening, when he's not. But it was a moment. I get it. I get it, Glenn. It was a moment. But you said it, mate. And you're never, ever going to live it down. And you always do that with other people. So it's about time you got a little bit yourself. So there you go. But tonight, it's about getting carried away with the moment. On Monday, former Labour councillor Ricky Jones is up in court. And at the Southport meeting last year, I won't just finger. Let's just get it up. Let's just get the little video up. That's what we'll do. Unapologetic.
They are disgusting, nasty bastards, and we need to calm their roots and get rid of the road.
So that's what Ricky Jones has said, and I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. He was obviously in the moment. He's in a demo with a few hundred people. It does get adrenaline pumping. It does, and all that lot. But I mean, Lucy Connolly. She was in a bit of a zone at the moment, angry, and she said something on her Facebook post. Yes, she said something pretty bad, like burn something down. Ricky Jones was a then serving councillor, and he said that in front of the members of the public. Like again, I'm not going to defend him. But he's got carried away with the moment. It happens to us all. Everyone's said it. You lot have shouted something at a demo or said something to someone in the heat of the moment. Well, thank you. Thank you very much, guys. Unapologetic tonight. No F's given. I just want to go a big shout out. We're having our conference next week, Saturday, at the PTSD camp. You can see me. Logo, my t-shirt there with my name on. 23rd, Saturday, 23rd of August. I'm not sure of the time it's starting, 12 or 1 p.m. But if you want to come, email us. You just got to give your details at the gate, simple as, for health and safety reasons minimum, because we've got people on the camp and we have to log people in. And obviously the security of the conference. Although the conference isn't nothing extreme, guys. We're going to be talking about running in local elections. That's what we're going to be doing. So there's the email. Email us if you fancy it. There is room for camper vans if you've got a camper van. And if you come in, you want to stay overnight, you've got to bring a tent. There's facilities there to use, showers, toilets and stuff like that. And a big massive clubhouse where you can cook food and do whatever, make brews, whatever you want. During the conference or the conference day, there's no drinking. There's no drink or drugs at the camp. We won't be doing anything like that. Nobody will be drinking beer. If you're drinking, it's be tea and coffee or juice or water or something like that. But yeah, so that's 23rd of August. That's next Saturday, guys. So it's not far off. It'd be a good time to come down, meet the gang. Also, you'll be able to meet Joe and Dion, who run the camp. And you'll see yourself what the camp is like. Gets a lot of stick, and really for no reason at all. And the people who give it stick haven't even been to the camp. You couldn't make it up. But anyway, guys, it's about the moment tonight. Obviously, Ricky Jones has got off with his case, and I said a little bit about it there. I get it. I get it running away with the moment. I've been in trouble for that kind of offence, guys, in 2018. It was well documented on my Facebook, and I had to go and see counter-terrorism because I said some naughty things online, similar to what Lucy Connolly said. They didn't arrest me. They didn't jump on me or anything. They asked me to come in and see him, and I did. And I apologise because I get that, you know, saying it would get other people to do things. But what I also did say was a scandal that's going on in Blackpool at the time. The absolute scandal of kids being abused in Blackpool. Talked about that a lot. And I talked about that. I wanted to get into local politics, which I'm now into. So really, they were sort of like profiling me, seeing what I had to say. I never ranted on. I never said anything about like the Quran says you got to do this. I never said any rubbish like that. I did give some stick to immigrants at that time. I did. I said we need to shut our borders down. That's what I said when I was in. And I just talked about local counselling things. But Ricky Jones got away with it. So one of the things in the case of Ricky Jones, I'll get it up. I'm trying to look for it, but one of the things in the court case was he was angry because the previous year there'd been things in the paper about stickers with blades under them from the National Front. Now, as far as I know, no one was ever arrested for this, but it came in the papers, and he said he was angry about that. Obviously, that's classic. The solicitor telling him what to do. But would the solicitor have been like what there was like with the Southport lot and Lucy Connolly when she got pulled in? They said, listen, you better go guilty straight away. It'll save you. Said they bully them. They bully them, the police. And I said this from the very beginning, me. I know how they work. They would have bullied them into writing down or pleading guilty instead of pleading not guilty and going to court over it. And the majority of the Southport victims pleaded guilty, guys. They pleaded guilty. So, you know, I know what they do. Now, would have Ricky Jones got that kind of treatment off the police? Will anyone say something in here now? Would Ricky Jones have got that treatment off the police? Please, someone say something in the chat. Dorothy Lord's in the chat. Welcome, Dorothy. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Rufus. Thank you. Thank you. White Knight, good to see you, my man. Antonella, of course, lovely. Tommy Trump, good evening, mate. I hope you're still coming next Saturday. And there's a spot for your camper van, by the way. So, you know, would the police have treated him like that? They wouldn't have done. They wouldn't have bullied him into taking a charge. You know why? I'm really passionate about this now because I'm involved in an incident that's like this. The police are going for a tick in the hate crime charge box rather than defending a guy who was attacked. And he said something which has led to all this. And I'm involved in this case right now, guys, and I'm absolutely furious. We have actually been to see the housing, and I made it pretty clear in the housing who I was, what I thought, and I'm a neighbour of this person. But we'll get on to it. We'll get on to that another time. I'm not going to say nothing else, but more will be said about that. And I mean, I've got names of police officers involved in the case and stuff like that. And if I find that they've been any kind of snidey, I will be publicly naming them. That's what I'll do. And I'll bring it up at the next Greater Manchester Mayor's question time as well. That's Big John. Big John don't just say it, he does it. When I wanted to go and see the Mayor of Greater Manchester and pull him about political correctness and the child sexual exploitation scandal, what did Big John do? I went to the Mayor's question time and I pulled him about political correctness. I said to the police, after giving the police a berating, I said that they were all crooks and sex offenders, all recorded in the public image. So, you know, I don't just stand behind like a screen and say some things. I follow on with them actions. And that's what I do. So, you know, like anybody out there, I'm not, some people might be offended. It's just a superpower of mine. If you know me, you know I'm confident. I can speak well in the moment and all that. It's a superpower. And I've got that superpower. And that's what I will keep on doing. All recorded, all the Mayor's question times I went to, even when I had to go at the audience who was against the Mayor on the CAS tax and said, what about your kids killing each other? Like Reese Tansey case, 16-year-old killed in Bury Town Centre. I said, what about all that? And you lot think it's like we should be going on about CAS tax. Meanwhile, your kids are being slaughtered on the streets. Said it all in a public meeting. When I said that in a public meeting in Bolton, the then Reform person who was there, someone come straight up to me and asked me to join their party. And I said, no, I've got my own political party to deal with. So that weren't that long ago. Whoa. So yeah, camp colours on tonight, guys. It certainly does, Mark. Good evening, Mark Williams, one of our heroes. Heroes of the NHP UK. So I've got more tonight. Guys. Remember, it's unapologetic, and I don't care what anyone thinks. If they think they can do better than me, get involved in local politics. If you think that, like, I don't say things right, or you want to give me advice, give me some advice. The email's there on the admin. Or you can email me at john.lawrence@nationalhousingparty.uk. I do look at things, and I will like to, but, you know, I'm just not. That's what I'm like. And I know some of you might be offended, who I know pretty well, but it's tough. We need to get into gear. Guys, we need to get into gear, and those who are capable need to stand up and start running in local elections. It's simple as. Otherwise, we're never gonna go nowhere. But then again, we have a lot of problems at the moment. One of them is the hotel issue. So there's a lot of demonstrations, and it does need to be highlighted. But I've been involved in a few hotel demonstrations, and the V Lodge in Middleton ended up getting shut down about 2-3 weeks after we had a demo there. And I suited up, and I spoke with locals and all that. And that V Lodge Hotel got shut down. But what I said in my speech, I pointed out that one side of the road is one member of parliament, then the other side of the road is the other member of parliament. And I urged people who live in the area to write to the members of parliament about it. And I mentioned these two people by name. You know, I know these members of parliament. And what it was at the V Lodge, we got evidence through a freedom of information request that most crime was coming from that V Lodge Hotel. And that we did the demo a week or so after. There was a second knife attack in that area related to that hotel. So we brought all this up. They shut the hotel down 2 weeks later. So it can be done, guys. It can be done. Not going to say don't go out. If you can't stand at a protest, but you know where there's an hotel, get a picture of it and put it on social media. You don't have to do a video. If you can do a video, do a video. Tell them what you think about your area when the councils don't tell you. The councils do not tell you when these hotels are getting filled up. Now, they don't need to tell you, but you would think it a common courtesy is for the hotel chain to contact the council to let them know what they're doing. But they don't do that in any of the cases to do with hotels. And then we find out. And antisocial behaviour follows them hotels. The V Lodge in Middleton, antisocial behaviour, 2 knife incidents within a couple of weeks. The Victoria Hotel, there was a knife was pulled out in the railway pub just round the corner, and there'd been some bit of trouble at the Morrisons. I don't know anything else, but that's what I know off locals there. The Britannia in Leeds, in Seacroft. Now, you know, like, why should I talk about hotels? Well, I go to them, guys, and I went to the Britannia over a year ago. And what I did on demo day, I went early and delivered 500 National Housing Party leaflets to the local area and talked to people who live around that hotel. So I got a feel for the area. I talked to a granddad. I talked to a mother. I talked to a father. I talked to youths in the area. I talked to a teenage mother. I talked to an old person. I went to the town centre, suited up, talked to everyone and got a feel of the area. Now, there was reported SAs, sexual assaults at that Britannia hotel. And when I was there, I was talking to a young mother who was afraid to use a subway. Anyone's been up there, they know there's a big subway outside that hotel. And even during the day, she said she was afraid to go down it because she heard me talking to the police, telling the police what I thought of the hotel. You know what I mean? So, you know, I don't just go on social media and bleat me out. I do things, and it's well documented. I just want people to know that. And it's not just demos. Like I said, political events where I'm meeting mayors and chiefs of police. And through me, a friend of mine, Bernie, managed to get some meetings with Andy Burnham about her issue. And it was because I took her to the mayor's question time because she weren't getting anywhere else. So we went a bit more direct route. We ended up having 2 meetings online and 1 meeting face-to-face at the GMCA headquarters in Manchester. So Big John is productive, not disruptive. That's Big John. Thank you very much. Into chat, what we all going on about? 201, 195 on X. Come on, I'll do some sharing my video on X. Sorry, I'm just sharing my X post. Peter Lynch, let's not forget Peter Lynch, guys. I went to Snaresbrook the first time Ricky Jones was supposed to be up, and they shut it down on the day and put it forward till this time. But Patriot came with Peter Lynch banner, and he asked if we could have a couple of pictures. Said, you know what, let's do a video. And I did about 3 or 4 videos talking about Peter Lynch and Ricky Jones. So Peter Lynch, 61 years old, numerous health issues, hung himself after 2 previous suicide attempts. So he was on the watch and they left him. You know what I mean? This is a left. This is a government that we're facing. And, you know, I'm not saying there ain't bad people on the right, but the left get away with it, guys. They do. They always get away with it. But that's going to change. That's going to change because I'm not going to let the council get away with it. I'm not going to let the council be politically correct. I'm not going to let the council bully constituents and members of public. As a wannabe local council, I'm supporting several people with issues at the council. And I actually am authorised to speak for two of these people, me, to do with issues that they have with the council. So that's how I'm getting into it. And I think that once I'm in the council, I can make a positive change to the climate of the council. I can make a positive change to the climate of the council. 100% I can. I know I can. I'm good as a team player and I'm good at working on my own. And a task that a councillor would have to do is the kind of task I excel in. So there we go. But anyway, remember, guys, it's unapologetic. It's absolutely unapologetic. You can say what you want about me. You can make funny videos and all that. But if you accuse me of something, like you have, like Glenn Safford's lot accuse people of rape and stuff like that, or threats of violence, then the police are going to be involved. There's no gangsters handshake, guys. It's police. And then I demand that they take whatever case involves me right to the farthest they can. It'll go to court. I want these. Anyone threatens me, I want you sent down. That's what I want you done. I want you sent down. There's no like slap on the hand or anything. And if like the police don't, I'd just be doing videos all the time about it and telling people what these people are like. I'd put pressure on as a council. I'd put pressure on the older council. And I'd say to them, I'd do a speech in council. So it's all right that I get treated like that. If it was any of you getting treated like that, there'd be uproar. And I call them out for the political correctness, Pakistani, Muslim, white, black, pink, whatever race, ethnicity you are. If you're going to carry on that shit in the council, then you'll be out. You'll be out. Anyway, I'm not gonna go too far on it. But listen, what's happening with reform in Oldham? Got a little video to show you here. Honestly, you know. Some of these groups, I seen this coming me. When I got into politics in Oldham, I seen that I'm going to have trouble with particular groups in the way that they run, the kind of people they have in. Been very critical of Failsworth independents. I've been very critical of some independents in Oldham, as well as other serving councillors, Lib Dems, Tories, Labour. But let's see what Reform are up to tonight. Anyway, let's see what Reform are up to in Oldham. Let's just get a bit of a gist.
Come for your work.
So we have a gentleman in the middle here. I believe his name is Robert.
Good evening.
I was sent the email inviting me to join Reform by you, Mr. Perrick. And I wasn't a member. You invited me to stand for Chad at the South. You encouraged me to join Reform. So now, I've got some questions. On the 18th of May, 2025, you sent me an email where you had when you admitted you held a secret meeting with your committee where you said you'd resign en masse if I became chairman. Are there any minutes of that meeting? Who called the meeting? And why did you call it? It's not democratic, it's not fair, and I should have been given a right to reply.
Okay, I'll answer that question. You believe in openness and honesty, do you, Robert? Do you believe in being open and honest with people?
Yes.
Do you believe it?
Yes.
Right, can you tell everybody in this room what you got arrested for?
That's not
Ladies and gentlemen, can we have a little bit of let's hear
Can you tell people in this room what you were arrested for, Robert Barnes?
Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are?
What you were arrested for?
Who does he think he is?
Right. I don't.
Who do you think you are? Who the heck do you think you are?
Order, Mum.
Who do you think you are? You've got no right to condescend people like
Hang on a
that.
minute. Let's have some decorum.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's behave like adults and stop shouting. No, just a minute.
Well started it.
Very important. Let's everybody stop shouting and have some order, because this is not how adults behave.
Simon.
Right, can we just speak? Oh, and you as well, please be quiet.
Simon.
Thank you.
1 second. Is there anybody who was in the interim party who would like to declare that they have a criminal record?
Yes.
Would any of them like to stand up and say whether you've got a criminal record or not?
At this moment in time, I don't think it's any of your business at the moment.
Simon, I've been called to answer questions. I'm now going to continue.
Hang on a second, can we have one at once, please? The two of you standing together. Let's hear Robert's answer.
Right. So now, I'm going to go further, because Mr. Eric talks about GDPR. Mr. Eric, in that email, confirmed that he contacted police officers about my character. That, according to a serving police officer who I've spoken with, is a breach of data protection and a breach of GDPR. That, to me, means you are not a fit and proper person to lead reform, and I am calling for your immediate resignation.
Well, what can I say? Now, when me and Pat started the party, and this is one of the angles that I seen reform going, was how the Howie people, and obviously Rupert Law's gone, Ben Habib's gone. Now, this is a local Oldham meeting. The person in question is Robert Barnes, who he was asking what he got arrested for. Now, Robert Barnes took a Root Shard seat in South Chadderton. Then all of a sudden, there were some accusations come out and he stepped down. Now, I don't know if he's been charged with anything. I don't think he has. I don't think he's got any kind of conviction or charge. But this is what these people are like. And obviously, Paul the Boots Uruk, who was speaking there, was using that against Robert for whatever reason. Now, I'm sure that he never got charged with anything. He hadn't been convicted. He just got accused. And I'm sorry, guys. This is cancel culture, this. And reform are absolutely on par with the left for cancelling people for having a view of other things. And that really ticks me off. I'm not that kind of person. Those who know me, I'm not that kind of person. If you believe in something, I'm not going to start ranting at you every time about it. I'll just tell you what I believe. You know, you might believe in something, right? And like, I'm not going to fall out with you if you just not believe in one. You know, I'm just not that kind of person, me. But this is politics. This is what we predicted. Me and Pat talked about this. How reform on a level like this are going to start falling out with each other because they are too politically correct. So reform, that's a reform meeting in Oldham, and the guy you could hear saying it was out of order, Steve, guy who helps Peter Brown in Oldham. But yeah, honestly, that's what we're up against. Dorothy knows it well. Dorothy knows what they're like well. And then did you also hear that woman say, will anybody else put their hands up, say they've got a criminal record? Oh, you seen that silence in that hall and stuff like that, honestly. And, you know, like, when it comes to it, if we had to force every single councillor in the country and 1,000, how many thousands there is, and MPs to come forward with the convictions, honestly, there'd be a lot of them stepping down and being cancelled and stuff like that because of the convictions they've got. But, you know, will we ever get to that? Should that be a policy that we've got to open up our back histories? Should that be a policy? You know what I mean? You know, what do we do? But that's the state of reform in Oldham. Anyway, remember, guys, it's about the heat of the moment. And you know what? We're unapologetic tonight. We really are unapologetic. We're on the heat of the moment, guys. So Ricky Jones' case was a heat of the moment. I told you on that video that I did last week. Heat of the moment. And again, I've been in that situation. I talked about it last week where I'd said something online as bad as what Lucy Connolly said. And although Lucy Connolly suggested that she wouldn't be asked if they burnt down or whatever, but I didn't say that. I said I wanted it done. That's what I said. And I got a visit off counter tourism, but that was 2018. And in just them few short years, look how it's changed. Look how it's changed in just them few short years. Because if I'd have said that now, I'd have been in big trouble, guys. I'd have been in big trouble. Let me see if who's in the chat, Dorothy. Jackie, yes, Jackie. I want to see if I can get my mate Cozzy on, if I can. Right, put my link out. Put my link out. Thank you very much, guys, for the text. Lottie next, thank you very much, Big Johnny, unapologetic. If you think you're going to get an easy ride, you've definitely come to the wrong stream. You're not. That Ricky Jones is not going to get an easy ride. And I promise you, guys, that maybe not the next time, but and I do travel to London quite regular, I'm going to go to the area where he was a councillor. And I'm going to talk to the local people and I'll see what they think. That's what I'll do eventually. Might not be this year, might be next year, but I will get to his local council. And I think it was not Walthamstow. '58, same age as me. Same age as me. Right, Dartford in Kent. That's where he was a borough councillor. So I'll be visiting Dartford one time, guys. Definitely 100% get some videos done down there and talk to people in Dartford, see what they think. But yes, unapologetic, guys. If you don't like it, you don't like it. We've already seen Alan. Sorry, not Alan Murray. Alan Murray comes at the last. Don't forget, I haven't forgot him. Glenn Saffer at the front there, on the front line. Glenn Saffer, the veteran. Sorry, no, the para. Sorry, no, the Walter Mitty. That's what I say in the video stream. And he got carried away with the moment. I get it. I've been carried away with the moment. We've all been carried away with the moment. But, you know, has there got to be rules and a line drawn to the kind of person you are? Ricky Jones was an elected borough councillor. And it's not nice to see people say things like that on lives. I don't like it. I don't like seeing that from any side. But that's what we see. We see these kind of threats. Glenn Saffer's lot, they'll threaten and accuse you of the most heinous things. Them people, honestly, the most heinous things. And those against the camp will say the most heinous things. Honestly, and you know what? They've never been to the camp, guys. They've never been to the camp. Fucking low lives. Low lives. Scum of the earth. But thank you, everyone in the chat. Thank you, Jackie's in. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you very much, Jackie, tuning in and that. But yeah, Unapologetic, if you're on Twitter, get following me. Links. Let me see. I think we've got Cozzy up. Yes, Cozzy.
What's happening, Big John? How are you?
No, how are you? How are you? You've been busy. You around Manchester past few days, haven't you?
Oh yeah, been busy, John. I've been busy, mate. Been busy.
Try and make sure you comment in the video so people can get your YouTube up. Yeah.
Where? How do I comment?
You might have to link it up. You might have to. It might ask you for permission.
So, is this YouTube live? This?
Yeah, this is a YouTube live through StreamYard.
Right. I don't know. I'm a bit thick, me, John.
No worries. I'll get your channel up.
Man, what's the chat about? What we chatting about? Come on, John. What we chatting about?
That Ricky Jones, that councillor who got off in court today.
It's fucking disgraceful. Imagine, right? Yeah. Excuse my language, right? But imagine I said that. Imagine I said that as a white British man. Yeah. Or one of the leaders of one of, like, say Tommy said that, or Paul said that, or Nick said that, or you said that, or anyone that's classed as a bit right, yeah, right? Imagine one of us said that. We'd be in Belmarsh on the flipping Cat A unit. We'd be classed as a terrorist. It's disgusting. One, yeah, right? I think it's because he's pissing in Starmer's pot in the funny handshake gang, yeah? And two, it's because I hate to say it. What is he, Asian? Was he Asian or black or ethnic?
Yeah. I agree, 100%.
Yeah. Same as these. Same as these. It's the same fucking as these fuckers at Manchester Airport that attacked women police officers. They attacked women. They're scum of the earth. Yeah, well, not scum of the earth, but they attacked women. Yeah, and they had a hung jury. How much more evidence do they need? How much? I think Starmer's brought the jury. How much more? And I was listening to it, yeah, some of it, because I got a bit fucking wound up with it. I'm getting a bit flipping wound up with it. So sorry, I stopped paying attention, right? But he said that one of the reasons he did it is because there was racism when he was younger. People bullied him for being racist. Well, I hate to break it to you, mate. What you said, yeah, is kill every worried and scared parent. They're labelling us all far right and calling us Nazis, which is absolute. If you look at it, right, these people that are protesting, yeah, they're acting like Nazis. They're saying death to the IDF, which means death to Jews, yeah. They're saying death to this, death to that, blah blah blah. They're acting like Nazis with their deluded ideology. And I personally think he should have been given a 10-year sentence.
Yeah, I agree with a lot you said there, and the tick in the box and him being like a Labour councillor. And what I did say as well is that a lot of these Southport people, they were bullied by the police and the law people. The police would have been saying, "Listen, you're definitely gonna go court, but if you go guilty, we'll take." They bully him. I know the tactics, and I've been through the same thing. I said something that I shouldn't have done on social media and had to go and see counter-terrorism. And this was in 2018, Cozzy. And it was worse. It was worse than what Lucy Connolly said and that Ricky Jones said.
So my friend, I'm not going to mention his name, he got sentenced in the Southport riots for the Reform. In all fairness to Reform MP from Runcorn, she's gone to see him in prison to say it's wrong. In all fairness to her, I'm actually...
Yeah.
Do you know what case I'm on about?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
He's my friend. He's my friend. So he got sentenced for the same sort of thing, and it's disgusting. He got called in court for spreading false information, saying he was a terrorist, and then it's come out the fucker was a terrorist. He was a terrorist. He had Al Qaeda for paying. As much as you want to paint it clear, he was a terrorist. Why else would he have Al Qaeda for paying things? Same as what's just happened in. I've been reading it today in Canary Wharf. A migrant has broke into a house, yeah, and into a blind woman's house, and the daughter has chased him off with a knife. Guess who's been arrested? Guess who's been arrested? Yeah. The daughter. What is going on? What is going on in Britain?
There's a black guy called Respect, and
I think I've seen him.
Speaker's Corner, and all them lot have been at the house protesting, and even honestly, you can hear Respect, and he said, "Listen, we don't know who these people are, and they're walking into our houses." That's what he says.
So, I was speaking today actually with a person from Gaza, yeah, right, and he was saying that all these people, yeah, going to these Palestine marches are wasting their time, right? Because he said he doesn't believe in Hamas and he's glad he's not there. He said he's glad he's not there, right? And he said that where's John gone? And he also said, yeah, that he had to wait years and years and years and years to do his legal immigration correctly, right? Correctly. He got knocked back once. He's got his own business in Manchester City Centre. He's been very successful since coming to Britain. He pays tax. He did everything correctly, and he said he doesn't like it. He doesn't like the fact, this is from a legal immigrant, he doesn't like the fact that these people are coming over and skipping the crew when he had to jump through all these hoops. Right? So even go on.
Let me break in. I've got a couple of examples of that, right? Got a Jamaican friend, and when he came over here, and like went to claim, he's still not a citizen, yeah. Yet he's worked at the same works that he started that more than 10 years ago. He's a fine example of a community person, and I know this guy really well. I know his family. I know all his kids, and he still has to pay a fee every year. You know what I mean? And it works. But then, you know, you think that that's just somebody you know. Well, I worked at a place and met a Indonesian woman who is a businesswoman. She was a businesswoman there, and she's a businesswoman over here, and she still has to pay like a few £1,000 a year to stay here. You know what I mean? And yet we've got all these people coming over, going into hotels, going into our system, and most of them don't go. They stay here. You know what I mean?
I'm not being funny. I'm not being funny, right? Yeah, I was thinking this. In fact, I said this earlier. I said this is perfect time, right, for these terrorist organisations to send people over to Britain, because they're coming over undocumented. We don't know who these people are.
Cozzy, they've been saying that since we started, since we invaded Iraq in 2000. This is what the tourists have been saying all the time. It's well documented.
We don't know who these are, and how insane is our government to let them in? How insane is, oh yeah, I tell you what, we don't know who you are. We don't know if you say who you are. We can't DNA test you because you've got no birth certificate, because this, because that. But I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to take money off the OAPs, take money off the disabled, and fucking put you in an hotel. And also what we're going to do is we're going to make cans of Coke fucking £2.10 in some places. Oh.
It's mad. Honestly, Cozzy, it's mad. A lot of this is to do with things like the UN Refugee Convention, the ECHR. A lot of these European things give more rights to people who aren't from Britain. You know what I mean?
Can I ask you a question on that? Are Greece in the European Union?
Yeah, they are.
How come they're allowed to do it?
What, control the borders?
They're just saying, no, you're going to jail or you're going home.
Yeah, and so does Poland, does it as well. Poland,
so what is wrong with our own 738,000 signatures it's on now to get the government out? to get
Right.
for a general election. Do you know what he said? He said, "I'm ignoring it because we're fixing the country." He's blatantly ignored. It's going to get to 1 million. He's blatantly ignored nearly 1 million people. I've even signed it, and I rarely vote. I've even signed it. I'm even going to vote, and I voted once in my life because my nan told me to. I'm even going to vote at the next election. It's absolutely. Do you know what? It's got people. This modern day Britain, bonkers Britain, as Katie calls it, right? Pippin has got people who don't care about politics, right? Entrenched in it. It's all entrenched in it. It's because of this flipping rent boy Shagger Starmer. Sorry.
You have me screen cut down, you know. Yeah. But yeah, so thank you for coming on. Listen, guys, Cozzy, follow him, follow his YouTube. He's doing well on his YouTube. Getting some more subscribers up. We'll get Cozzy on again. But if you're on TikTok, you might see me and Cozzy together every now and then. Comes up to Oldham, and I'm meeting him at Oldham Town Centre, and he said, what's like being British to you? Now, first of all, these are the kind of things I said to him.
John, I thought you was a lefty.
Yeah, and I said, rule of law, democracy. These are the kind of things I said. Then I went on to telling him about art and theatre, music, you know, and everything, a lot of things. And he was quite surprised.
Yeah, because I thought you was a lefty. Right, well, listen, John, thanks for having me on, yeah?
No worry, Cozzy. You take it easy, mate.
Come on.
God bless you. God bless you, son.
Come on. See you later. How do I leave this?
It should say it on bottom somewhere. So that's Cozzy, guys. You can see him on TikTok. It's got a YouTube channel. Please follow it. I put the link in the chat there. Dead interesting. Like I said, I met him in Oldham Town Centre. I seen him talking to someone with his phone out. So what are you doing? What you on there? And he went, TikTok. Oh, and I said hello, said a few words, and then straight away there were people on the TikTok saying, "Oh, we like John," or people who already knew me or whatever. So I invited him up to Oldham. We did. We went down to an hotel that's highlighted for migrants, but at the moment it's got council people in and homeless people. But it's right next to a kiddies swim place, and it's been highlighted to house boat people. I went down and did the video. It was on live on TikTok, and then a 60-bed property highlighted in Oldham, old council building. We went there, and then we went finding the entrance to the Werneth tunnel for the train, which is still there, obviously. There's a big gate on it, but you could get in. And we're going to go again, but we need torches and stuff. I'm going to have to record because we won't get any signal under there. But that's what we did with Cozzy. Met him in Manchester the other week, went on demo day when Britain First were there. And he's a regular around city centre. And it's good to see. I like to see people like this. And, he asks nice questions. He's not a nasty person. You don't see him like trying to have a fight with people like Charlie Beach. He's just straight. So that's Cozzy, guys. Thank you very much, aka Cameron. Guys, I was unapologetic tonight. If you don't like it, you shouldn't be watching the stream, and it's pointed at you. What do I believe in? We need to get politically involved at a local level. I believe in running in local elections. I believe in supporting communities with all sorts of issues. And I don't just pick on one particular kind of person. I'm helping Muslim people. I'm helping white British people. I'm supporting Black Caribbean, African people. Anyone who's a British citizen who lives in Oldham, you're going to get supported one way or another. And once we can get rid of this woke, politically correct thing, stop shouting at each other in the council chambers calling us them buzzwords like racist and all that, like they love to use. Until we can get past that, we're not going to do anything for any particular community in the UK. We're all going to go downhill, whether you're white, brown, pink, whatever. So we'll just like need to get on a little bit. And, you know, like I said, I'm not going to apologize. Some people need to like get off the backsides and start getting more actively involved in the community. If you can't run as a local council candidate, you can support your local community hub or something like that. Why don't you get some pictures up on your social media of you going to a food bank or doing something like that to show that, you know, and, you know, like some people think, well, people put it on social media. They shouldn't have to put it on social media or anything. No, put it on social media as well. We want hotel pictures. If you suspect an house of being an HMO, get the picture took. Get more involved in your community. If you've got any particular issues around the community, especially if you live in Oldham, get in contact with me. And I'll see what I can do. You know, I've been supporting residents in South Chadderton, obviously Ollingwood, where I am, and I still support lots of residents in Ollingwood, but I've supported Dorothy, who lives in Royton. I've supported people in South Chadderton as well with particular things to do with the council and emailed supporting them and stuff. I've been to several meetings with members of the public who live in Oldham with issues they have at the council, in Ollingwood and in Oldham. And I want to get more involved in that kind of thing, supporting them. You know, like sometimes all you need is a friend at the side of you, and that's enough support, and you can feel confident to talk to somebody else. That's all you need. And, you know, I don't tell anyone that I can solve every problem. But if you need support in something, or you need your voice being heard a little bit, then I am your man. That's what I can do. So, yeah, I think there's going to be some regular protests at the Victoria Hotel in Oldham starting next week. But next week is camp, National Camp Day. So if you want to come, there's our email at bottom. There's a gate. You got to get through a gate. You got to give your details when you come onto the camp premises. It's simple as. If you're not comfortable with giving your details on at the camp for the camp meeting, don't come. You're not welcome. You're not good for our party. We want people who are going to be honest, true, and real. So we don't want any snidey, undercover scumbags or anything, you know, or any. No, I don't mean that. I don't want people coming if they think that, like, if their identity is out, that they've been to our party, they're going to get targeted, because we're not an extreme party, guys. We just want to run in local elections, and we want to support British citizens first, not everyone else around the world. British citizens first. And I'm not going to lie. Of course, the white community is under attack. I've never, ever said that it isn't. But also, we have other communities in the UK similar, like I've got a half West Indian community, and if you're a British citizen, I want to support you. So get more involved in politics, guys. Get more involved in your communities. I'm unapologetic. I'm not going to apologize. If you think I should apologize, and you shouldn't be watching the stream, should you? Ha ha ha. There we go. But anyway, let's see what else I've got. Thank you, Precious. So, yeah, Dorothy. So, I'll talk a little bit about Dorothy. So, when she had her issues, they wouldn't. She went for another job, and they refused her at that other job because she whistle blew at this particular job. You know, now, you know, people will say whistleblowers, and people said, "Oh, you're grass." It's not about that, and because I've worked in like logistics and in factories, and if we don't follow rules properly and things set out, it doesn't come to the right outcome. So I'm not saying that a logistic factory is the same as a preschool. It isn't, but there's rules that you've got to abide by. And some of the factories I've been, you're not allowed on your phones, and you're not allowed on your phones in the under fives things. So you're in the right to say something, you know. And what goes from that point, if somewhere's highlight that they failed in them things, then the kind of person I am, you know, like, and the training I've had in management and things like that, you go back and look at the procedure. Then you look at other things. Then, you know, it might not be the procedure, it might be the equipment. Got to look at that. You know, these are the kind of things you do so that you get it right the next time. So it's just the same in the under fives. If you're going to use a phone when it's against the law, you've got to accept there's going to be consequences. But the consequences in Dolly's case have been sort of like brushed under the carpet, and it's just not good enough. It really just not good enough. I've got a massive extended family. From the youngest members of our family are like under one. You know what I mean? And I want to make sure that they've got a healthy, good, supportive school life. And it's difficult in Oldham because most of the schools are crap. It's really, and it's segregated as well in Oldham. Some schools are like 100% just Pakistani, and there's no other kind of ethnicity or Muslim or whatever or Bangladeshi, and it's not good for the community as a whole. And you know, like, I can say that on here. How do I know? Because it's been well documented, guys. It's been well documented for 30, 40 years. So, you know, I want the best for our kids, and so I'll support Dorothy wherever I can. But that's a little thing. So we're off to the school that refused her a job. That's my next video. And I did promise when I did Red Robin video that I will go and continue to do these videos once a month until something gets sorted or someone gives us better help to support Dorothy's case in law. So that's where we go from there. That's where we go from there. But guys, it's unapologetic. If you feel offended, you shouldn't be watching the stream. If you feel a bit awkward, then maybe you need to stand up and do a bit more and get politically involved and show your face. You might feel a bit like half anxious. It's not a big step. It's not a big step. Well, it is a big step, but it's not difficult. And if, you know, you'll know your community. If you live there, you know it. If you've lived there for so, I'm getting, you know, one time a woman, this is what she said to me and Pat. This is what she said to me and Pat. Oh, I'm not clever enough for the council. That's what she said. And this is a woman in Oldham. And then you know what her job was? Well, you know what she did? Like, out of her normal job hours, she was a school governor. And when she said she's a school governor, I said, excuse me, that's the kind of person I want on the council. I don't want a person who like ticks a box because they've got a different colour or they're LGBT or political stance. I want somebody on the council who's a governor of schools. So this woman can make a big difference as a councillor. And if she is a governor of schools, she's got skills. She's got skills to, you know, and we've got to remember, you don't have to be particularly clever. If we went in the clever route, I would say that a good more than 0.5% of our council are below average intelligence. That's what I would say on an accurate guess by the way they act and stuff like that. It's quite stupid. And it would be for a lot of other councils. But anyway, you don't have to be a brain box to run or be a councillor. You don't have to be a brain box. There's some work involved in it, but there's only as much work involved as you need to do. You've got to vote on things and attend meetings, but you could get more involved and then go like and work on the Department of Education. Let's say this woman, She could also work on the Department of Education within the council, which is the position that I would like Margaret, I'll tell you her first name, Margaret, to take. And you get a bit of extra money. But we don't have, unfortunately, councils are very politically correct, and a lot of them are only in because they tick a box. I'm going to say it. I've said it throughout all my life and everything, and online, you tick boxes. And what does a tick box mean? Female, LGBT, person of color, anything but a white dude or a white woman. But you know, that's ticking a box, and it does me head in. I want the people in the council who can do the job well. That's what I want. But yeah, there we go. Thank you very much, everyone. Unapologetic, Big Johnny, 394. Thank you very much. If many of you are on X, please follow my platform. If you're watching me on X, please follow my platform. And don't be afraid. Don't be afraid, but please follow my platform. Oh, Kelly J. Keen's on the roll there. So quickly, where are we up to now? Right, 10 o'clock. What I'm going to go on to is the flags being taken down in Birmingham. A lot of you will know that. But, you know, people are saying, oh, every other flag's allowed to be up. But, I mean, Palestine flags, they're under a target. Camden is the biggest Muslim area in the UK. And that council has banned Palestine flags from being put on trees. But if you look into the articles and look behind it, the groups that get this done on the Palestine flags are the Jewish groups. The Jewish Chronicle is one of them, the Jewish lobby groups. But that's just something I've noticed. But anyway, so they're banning them in Birmingham now, or they're taking them down in Birmingham. You can't put them on council stuff. You can only put them in your own yard and things like that. That's the only thing you can do. So if you're going to put up a flag, it's got to be in your own yard and on your own stuff. You can't put it on council lampposts, even though you'll see many other kinds of flags on council lampposts. You just couldn't make it up. You know, if this was like Saudi Arabia, you won't see any other flag on a lamppost except for a Saudi Arabian flag. You go to Pakistan, you won't see any other flag on a lamppost that's for a Pakistani flag. If you go to if you go to anywhere outside of the West, you'll only see that flag. Thailand, you'll only see the Thailand flag. But no, in Britain, we've got to have every stinking flag from all around the world up all the time. We just had Pakistani Independence Day, and then some councils put the flag out. I just wouldn't do it, me. I wouldn't do it because it deflects from the fact that we all live in Britain, and it's just negative for all communities. Ban them all, but other people, oh no, don't do it. And I would have ban the only flag you should have on a council building is a county flag, the town flag, and the national flag. That should be it. And of course, if you want to some tragedy somewhere or something, then you can have a half-mast flask of a tragedy. But that's it. You know what I mean? But no, every single flag from around the world is allowed anywhere in the UK. But it won't be like that in other countries. I'll tell you, it won't be. You won't find it. You won't find that very in other countries. No worries, Antonella. You keep up the good work. Get some more videos done. Don't forget, under 3 minutes if you can for a short. You can easily put a bit of writing up if you do it on your phone and you upload it on YouTube. It gives you the option at the side of the screen. You can put writing, you can put sound with it and all that lot. Just experiment a little bit, but you can all do that on your phone. But good night, girl. Good night. Our Antonella in the Braving Out. So she set up a YouTube channel and started doing little videos. And she asked me a bit and said, we'll do some shorts under 3 minutes. So I cut one of the videos down and give it her back, and she likes it. So get that up. Unapologetic, guys. If you feel offended or a bit uneasy, you shouldn't even be watching a stream. You shouldn't be watching a stream. And I'm a decent guy, me. I just don't like being threatened with violence or anything like that. So remember, there's no gangsters handshake. It's the police. That's it with me. I want to be a local councillor. And, you know, if I was to do a gangsters handshake, if someone threatened me to get them back or threatened them, then I would be as bad as every other stinking councillor in our country. I would be, and I don't want to go down that route. I don't want that gangster's handshake. So I'm a straight person, and that's how I want to be. But anyway, I got my camp t-shirt on tonight there. PTSD Camp Bath, were, according to some people who've never been to the camp, that we don't help anybody at the camp. And saying that, let me just get a little media up. Let me get a little bit of media up. This is Mike. It can be upsetting sometimes, this, for me, because I know Mike, but let's play it anyway.
My name is Michael. I live here at the PTSD camp in Bath. I've been very withdrawn for quite some time now and was prompted onto the course, which has benefited me greatly. I'm now able to get myself out again rather than being locked away. It's been great help to my head.
Yeah, so that's Mike. And guys, honestly, I've told the story before. He killed someone, but like this someone had attacked him already. And even in court, it came up in court that the neighbours never phoned the police the second time it happened because he never turned up the first time. This is what they said in court, guys. And that was Mike. And Mike went on the Spectrum Transition course, which is like a 3-4 day course. And they come to the camp, and then they just lived with the lads for 3 or 4 days, the people who did the course. And Mike went on that course. And I know Mike. And it's a choker, guys. It really is a choker. And I've talked about his story a few times, and before he got out, and then after he got out, and I'm just really honoured that I know him. But it's really difficult. But you know, like so, like there's loads of people F in the camp, and they don't see any of this. But that was a Spectrum Transition course, which is a certified PTSD course, but it's I do the reboot course, which is 13-week, a couple of hours a week. But this Spectrum Transition course, you do it in 3 or 4 days, concentrated, and it really does drag out of your stuff. And that's the first time in months that Mike had spoken and done anything. He didn't hardly ever come do a video, and he did a video there, and he talked straight in it. So, you know, really, it's emotional, guys. It's emotional. It really is. But thank you very much. Listen, unapologetic. That's what you get off me. Ricky Jones, disappointed. He would not have been bullied off the police like the Southport lot and people like Lucy Connolly. He wouldn't have had that kind of treatment. He'd have had the best solicitor, probably still paid by the Labour Party, and probably the Labour Party are behind him. Will he get back in the Labour Party, I wonder? Will he run as a councillor? You know, like, we've got to have rules. We've got to have rules. I'm not saying everyone's bad who commits a crime or they're evil or whatever, but we have to have rules, and rules have to be set, and there is none for people like him. But Ricky Jones, hopefully I'll meet you in the future, same age. You know what I mean? I might do we might get a candidate actually in the area in Kent. Yeah, that'd be nice. getting a candidate in Ricky Jones's ward. That would be fantastic. Guys, it's unapologetic. You can see it there. You can see it. If you're feeling offended, if you're feeling a bit anxious, if you're feeling that you want to shout names at me, you shouldn't be watching a stream. Unapologetic. Don't forget, 23rd of August next week's our national conference at the PTSD camp. And we've got a guest who's bigger than the Glastonbury headliner. I don't mean that person is a lefty. I mean as big as a Glastonbury headliner. That's our special guest speaker next Saturday. Good evening and God bless. Oh, sorry. Next week's show will be live from the camp itself. Friday night at the camp. Unapologetic. Live. Good night, everyone.
Well, Mark, I only know Alan Merritt because I was in Beach Home in 1971. I was there for 2 years, and when I left there, they put me into a mental hospital at 13 years old. My mum got a barrister and got me released and got the social worker sacked. We're going back to 1973. I'm now 63 years old. Alan Merritt, he is a two-faced cunt. That man will side with anyone, whatever suits him at the time. He's not a genuine person. He's all the people that Alan's mixed up with, they're all nutcases. They're all crazy. I think that he buys them. I think he gives them money. You see them going out to dinner. I think he pays for everything. His wife was called Kathy. Well, when Kathy died, Kathy's knees put up. While my aunt was in the hospice dying, that thing, Alan Merritt, was going up and down the motorway on his jolly way, going to all different demos. He drew all the money out of the bank and said all the gold was stolen. Now he's loaded with money from Kathy's death. He didn't give a shit about. Well, he wants to have it off with that Auntie Marie. He told me he wanted to lick her cunt out and fuck her and all that. He's a dirty old sod. He's only 5 years older than I am. Cancelled my subscription to Wake Up UK because Alan Merritt was running gay people down, and I'm a gay man, and so was Sue Peake. I've fallen out of her as well. Another woman called Jackie Lowry, this fat ugly thing. He was just really irritated me, Alan Merritt. I don't give a shit what happens to him. If somebody smashes his face in, it will serve him right. He's got too big-headed. He thinks he's John Wedger. He thinks he's a bloody journalist. He's no journalist. What? He comes from the same area that I come from, in Hammersmith, Shepherd's Bush in London. We come from exactly the same place. He comes from the slums. That's where he comes from. I know where he lives because I come from the same place. But I live in Christchurch in Dorset. I live near the sea. I've got a 2-bedroom house, but I have to pay bedroom tax. And also, Mark, if he really loved his wife, he wouldn't have been going to demos while his wife was dying in a hospice. He would have stayed by her side. But Alan Merritt, he thinks he knows it all, done it all. When he's with Tinkerbell, Andy Marie, he's buying them and giving them all money. I'm sure of it. I'm sure that he buys people because he's loaded with money. Well, all I can say, Mark, is that Alan Merritt is fucking stupid. He gets himself involved with some really stupid people.